like it when I finish my water and nobody refills me on water. Because if I think about it, like if I were in my living room or in my kitchen, I could just get up and go get water because I'm thirsty. When I'm in a restaurant, there's some expectations here. I can't go get the water. I don't know where the water is. You need to kind of hold that down, okay? Empty glasses. I don't like it when I hear silverware or dishes being thrown into a bucket. Do you ever get that when you're out and there's just like a click, 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 click? And it's just like, I mean, obviously I work in restaurants, so there's different thresholds, but hearing like silverware and china just kind of bounce around in a box because you're just chucking it in there instead of placing it is like, that gets me a little bit. All right, so the point of this, we have to think about what we like and what we don't like, because we want to do the things that you like, and we want to steer completely clear of the things that you don't. What you were talking about also, about being knowledgeable. You guys are walking representations and Rolodexes of what we offer here at South. If somebody asks you a question between two dishes or about a dish, and you just say, it's great. Bo, have I told you anything about the dish? No. Exactly. We have to be authentic, and we have to come with full knowledge, and we need to be comfortable enough to dive into it. So the point of all of this is to just make sure that we're showing up 100% table side. I remember moments where somebody asked me a question, or they're starting to look at a list, and it's just like, oh my goodness, please don't ask me about this bottle. Like, I feel like, are you looking at that bottle? Are you and then being like, ugh, or whoo, all right, didn't ask me about it. Those moments we want to lessen. I want you to know everything. I'm going to give you everything to lessen those moments, and you'll just be able to quickly navigate and bounce back and forth. That's the goal of all of this, and that also makes the difference. It's why you're special, and why the magic here is at a certain level that can't be replicated, except by us. Okay? What is hospitality? Courtesy? Treating people with respect. Excellent. What else?
Making you feel like you're in a second home, almost.
Yes. Making somebody feel welcomed and that you're in your second home. What else? Creating an experience. Yes. What else? Relationship between host and guest. Yes. Hospitality, I read this quote and it's just something that sticks with me. Hospitality is when something happens for you and not to you. Where you can go someplace, you're welcomed, you have courteous staff and friendly faces and warm personas, and you're really making it happen for somebody. That's what hospitality is. Okay? So part of the making sure that we treat everybody with respect and everybody feels welcome is our 5-foot rule. Is anybody familiar with a 5-foot rule? Go ahead, Elise. Yeah, exactly. So whenever you're within 5 feet of another person, whether it's a guest or a fellow staff member, we're going to acknowledge them. How do you acknowledge somebody? Smile, nod, hello, how are you? Nice to see you, you look lovely. It's all of that. You want to engage people. We're also creating an environment where, we have New Southern cuisine. We're gonna put out our, Southern hospitality the best that we can, being in the North, right? But part of that is really just making sure that everybody feels good, feels acknowledged, and I'm so happy that you're here. Everybody wants to feel welcomed and like they're supposed to be where they need to be. It also goes for, you know, physical space. If you see something on the ground, you have a straw, bev nap, foil from wine, anything, pick it up. If you see it, pick it up. This is part of maintaining our space and making it feel very accessible, approachable, and warm to guests. Okay? So we also have our yielding hierarchy, and I'm glad that we're all here together because this does come up several times. This is how we navigate the floor. When we are in full speed, full swing, there is a moment where you stop thinking and your body kicks in, and it's muscle memory, and it's the structure and the systems that you don't have to think about. You can just execute it. This yielding hierarchy is part of what becomes your muscle memory and how we move around the space. It keeps us safe also, and you can predict how the space is going to move. All right? Come back. So the yielding hierarchy, the person at the very top, or the people at the very top, are an unescorted guest. They always have the right of way. So when you see an unescorted guest, you don't want to like stop in front of them. It's just a swift move aside. And what's really cool is if there are 3 or 4 of us going in one direction and a guest is walking and everybody yields, suddenly it's like this pathway that wasn't there just completely just came out of nowhere for that particular person. And it's a really nice feeling to have, oh, like everybody wants a red carpet. We're not given the red carpet, but you can go first all the time. So we have unescorted guests. The next one is an escorted guest. What do you think this directly relates to? Hostess seating somebody, yes. So even when your hands are full and there's a host taking guests to seat them, yields. It also keeps them safe. We're carrying glasses and sometimes knives, and just take that step back. Then we have employee with food and drink on the way to a guest. If Jalea is going out and is going to deliver cocktails, and Molly, you are coming back, you're just walking around, you're gonna let Jalea go first because it's for our guests. Okay. Next, employees carrying items from a table or a side station. On the very bottom, employee with empty hands. If you don't have anything, if you're not moving in a direct path to something, you're not on the way to a guest, just yield. All right, any questions on that? Okay, great. So how will you embody hospitality? We just talked about it, that warmth and that trust. What's some behaviors? I want you to tell me in a concrete way how you embody hospitality. Smile. Great.
Engage with the customer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yielding. What else? We're talking about you want someone to feel at home and feel comfortable. What do you say to them? Hi, welcome. Like, I want these words. It's how we're going to be perceived. Did you say something? Compliment. Yes. Everybody who leaves the house took time to get ready. Okay. Well, you know, there's some effort.
You can it's two sides. Sometimes if you compliment somebody, the person they're with could get offended by it. So you gotta.
True, but I also like to, I mean, have a compliment for everybody. Honestly, don't be in a situation where you're only complimenting one person. If there's, if it's a guy or a girl, I go, it's like, wow, you look amazing. I love that dress. I get it, girl. And then he's there, and I'm turning to him, and I'm like, you look really good too. And then we move on, right? But there's also that dynamic where we'll get to that, but when there's a man and a woman and they're together, when you are a man or a woman, how you interact with them is gonna kind of change in terms of giving respect to that couple or that. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, any questions on that so far? No, okay, cool. Hey, will you put me on the fireplace? All right. Also, this corresponds to your server and bartender training guide, so there's more detail in there, but I'm just following this general structure if you want to follow along as well. Like I said before, I'm big on addressing perception. It's just really interesting to me. And part of being perceived in a way that is positive is being really intentional with the style of service that you give. There's a psychology to service, of making people feel good and making people feel like they're not a burden, that it's your pleasure to take care of them, and that you're willing to go the extra mile, okay? Your role as host. When you are tableside, you are literally that person's guide. You are that host. You are taking your guests, you're figuring out what they want, and you are providing them the experience that they desire, okay? A big thing that we talk about is how to enhance your guest experience. This kind of this relates to the notion of upselling, okay? Sometimes upselling feels really dirty. You feel like you're selling a used car, a used lemon, okay? But you have to change the way that you think about it. You're not upselling because you want their money and because it's a higher price. You're enhancing their experience. You're suggesting something because it truly is better. They will truly enjoy. So you have to know your menu and you have to know what we offer to be able to really nail it. And everybody's different. Okay. Any questions on that? Just general idea. So give me an example when you would enhance or upsell your guest. Say it again.
Dessert.
Dessert? Okay. How?
You know that we have a really good item on our menu. We try to really get them to get it.
Good. So we have, when you're talking about dessert and cocktails, those are the main, and salads and apps and those starters. Those are really good areas to start. Those are revenue generators, and sometimes you'll come in and someone will just be like, all right, give me that chicken, and let it rock, okay? Yeah, it's about saying, oh yeah, that chicken is really good. Do you want to try it with this cocktail or try it with this wine? You know, it had these flavor profiles really bring out all of the seasoning, and it's really great mouthfeel and anything like that. Okay? So really knowing when to go for things. Don't just accept, I'd like a salad or I'd like chicken. Really go for it. We have awesome things. You are gonna like it. Go ahead. Like Harry said, there's a business aspect to this too. We're building checks. We're also building experiences. The importance and the priority is on building the experience. The check is secondary. It's really about building that guest experience and enhancing it. Questions on that?
It's also like creating